Hi everyone, my name is Julio Peres. I'm a master's student here at the Gulf Coast Research and Education Center. I'm working with Dr. Nathan Boyd in the Weed Science Lab. I'm originally from Brazil, São Paulo. I did my undergrad in Federal University of Viçosa in Minas Gerais, also in Brazil. When I was doing my undergrad back in Brazil, I had the opportunity to come here to the US for an internship. And this internship was with Dr. Johan Desaeger in the nematology lab. And it was a wonderful experience. I also had the opportunity to work with a lot of soil environments or soil experiments, and I worked a lot with fumigants, and that led me to working with Dr. Nathan Boyd in weed science. So my current research here in GCREC basically have two components. One of them is more classical weed science, where I want to understand how fumigants are affecting the weed seed banks and nutsash tubers over time. We want to understand that first because weeds are among the highest or the major cause to losses in vegetable crops, especially in tomato crop. But second, because the main way to control weeds are with herbicides, and herbicides only target actively growing weeds. You cannot target the seeds or nutsash tubers or anything that is a propagation structure with herbicides. So we use fumigants in the field when we are forming the beds. The fumigants are applying this layer of soil. And fumigants are very volatile. They spread out through the bed after we put the plastic mulch on top, and it basically kills weeds. It can also kill plant pathogens like fungi and bacteria, some nematodes, but what we've been seeing for the most part, and this, keep in mind that this is a long-term trial since 2022 until 2025, we applied the same fumigants to the same plot. What we've seen so far is that fumigants are actively decreasing the weed seed banks over time. Those seeds, they can survive for long periods. Some species, they can go up to 50 years in the soil. So actively targeting those protected seeds in the soil is a big thing. But what is interesting about my research is that we also focus in more new technologies for weed science. One of them is deep learning models that can actively see the weeds, and basically we're developing a system to spot spray or site-specific weed management. But we already know that those systems work in the field. But my research specifically focus on, okay, if those systems work, what are the limitations of those systems in terms of how many weeds in one image or in one frame those systems can process and actively or precisely target. So for my future plans, I want to go for the Ph.D. I think it's the next step after a master's. I also want to keep going to work with research and ultimately be a professor, maybe here in the US or maybe back in Brazil. So for my hobbies, I like a lot of stuff. I like to read, I like to play sports, especially with the people here in GCREC. We play soccer sometimes. I also like good movies. I like to travel, and I like video games. I love video games. So with that, I would like to thank you all for listening to my story. I'd like to thank GCPSA. I also like to thank Dr. Johan Desaeger. That was the one that opened the doors here for me, and also my advisor, Dr. Nathan Boyd, and also all the weed science lab. Without them, my research would never be done. So yeah, thank you so much, and thank you, GCPSA.